I am so lucky in my earnings from Wimbledon. With my earnings in general, I invest in my future, so I save a lot of money. Those were Alex Eala's words after her breakthrough fourth-round run at Wimbledon 2026. $396,100. 10 days of tennis. One 21-year-old from Manila. That single check, the largest of her young career, was cashed on the sport's most prestigious stage. And within 48 hours of that money clearing, the world #1 went scorched earth on the entire prize money system that produced it. It's not easy to live in this tennis world with that percentage that we are earning. Aryna Sabalenka argued that even $396,000 was nowhere near enough. The number Sabalenka believes that Cheque should have been is exactly why this story matters so deeply. For the first time in her career, Eala walked into a Grand Slam as a seeded player, the number 29 seed at Wimbledon 2026. She walked out ranked number 28 in the world, holding a check for roughly £300,000, converted to $396,100. That single paycheck represented nearly one-third of every dollar she had earned in her entire professional career up to that point. That is not a bonus. That is a business plan in action. On June 27th, in a press room at the All England Club, the world #1 made her position crystal clear and refused to sit down when organizers tried to end the conversation. Sabalenka is not fighting the WTA. She is fighting the 4 Grand Slams and the independent bodies that run Wimbledon, Roland Garros, the US Open, and the Australian Open. She is doing so in coordination with players like Coco Gauff, Jannik Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz, and Jessica Pegula, all of whom co-signed a letter this spring demanding one specific number: 22% of tournament revenue for the players. The slams reportedly pay somewhere between 15 and 16% right now. The WTA and ATP 1000 events already pay 22%. That gap is the entire war. In May, Sabalenka told The Athletic exactly how far she was willing to take it. At some point, we will boycott. The world #1 used the word boycott on record 6 weeks before Wimbledon, and she has not backed off since. Here is what Eala'S Wimbledon week actually looked like on paper. Round 1, a straight sets win over Zarazua. Round 2, a comeback victory against Maya Joint after dropping the first set. Round 3, the defending champion IGA Swiatek, taken out in straight sets with a tiebreak first set and a dominant 6-2 second. Not a fluke, a tactical dismantling. Swiatek herself admitted afterward how difficult it was to handle Eala'S variety and craft. Round 4 on center court against Jasmine Paolini. Eala took the second set 6-4 before falling 6-4, 4-6, 6-3. She earned $240 in ranking points and that career-altering $396,100 check. In peso terms, Filipino media highlighted the figure as roughly 24.3 million. That number trended for a reason. It is more money than most Filipino Olympic gold medalists have received in career government bonuses combined. For a nation that has watched its athletes fight for scraps for generations, this was not just a paycheck. It was proof of possibility. Now, put that check next to what the tournament itself banked. Wimbledon 2020 SIX's total prize pool was a record £64. 2 million. Sounds generous until Sabalenka pulled up the receipts. On June 27th, in her pre-tournament press conference, the world #1 said it plainly. The prize money share as a percentage of tournament revenue has stayed the same for 10 years. 10 years of exploding TV deals, Netflix money, sponsorship money, hospitality money, and the player cut, per the coalition's math, has not moved. That was Saturday. By the middle of the tournament, someone tried a different angle in a press room. They asked Sabalenka whether it was hypocritical for a woman wearing expensive jewelry to be demanding more money. She reframed the entire question. In effect, she said she was not fighting for herself. She was fighting for the players who struggle the most, the ones one round away from not being able to afford a coach, a physio, or a flight to the next tournament. And that is when the numbers start to matter differently. Because if you have been watching Eala'S career from the beginning, from Miami 2025 onward, you have already understood something the tennis establishment is only now being forced to admit. The mid-ranked player is not a footnote in this sport. She is the entire foundation. And the world number one just used your favorite player's paycheck to prove it. Under the coalition's 22% demand, Eala'S round of 16 check would not have been $396,100. It would reportedly have been closer to $550,000 or $600,000. Same match, same result, same center court. A completely different financial future for a young player still building her career. Jessica Pegula is the reason this fight has real infrastructure. A multiple-time Grand Slam quarterfinalist, a fixture in the top 10 for years, and critically the daughter of the family that owns the Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres. She does not need more prize money. She will never need more prize money, which is precisely what makes her the most dangerous voice in the coalition. Speaking to ESPN, Pegula framed the protest as a demand for fair revenue share and called out the Grand Slams for what she described as a lack of progress despite record-breaking revenues. The argument that the players are being greedy collapses when you look at the details. This is not billionaires asking for more. This is a top 10 player using her own financial independence to speak for the woman ranked 128, the one who cannot afford to say it herself without risking her livelihood. 6 weeks. That is how long tennis has until the US Open. And Sabalenka is the defending champion. If you want to understand why every Grand Slam boardroom is on edge right now, understand what that combination means. The world number one threatened a boycott 6 weeks before Wimbledon. She has walked out of press conferences. She is Goff, Sinner, Alcaraz, and Pegula on paper. And she is about to arrive in New York holding the trophy she needs to defend, with maximum leverage and a countdown clock ticking. This fight is as old as professional tennis itself. The original 9 formed the WTA in 1970 over exactly this issue. The ADP was born in 1973 over exactly this issue. But this is the first time in a decade that both tours have moved in coordination, at the top in writing. And the reason it matters beyond the top tennis players like Alex Eala, Colombia's Camila Osorio, and Tunisia's Ons Jabeur. Emerging tennis nations are now producing top 30 players whose entire professional viability depends on what happens between rounds 3 and 4 of a Grand Slam. Freeze that revenue share, and you freeze the globalization of the sport. The tape does not lie about the Paolini match. Eala took a set off a top 10 player on center court and fought hard in the third. She has not played a competitive match in the 11 days since. In her post-match press conference, she did not make excuses, and she did not talk about the prize money war swirling around her. She said the run was, in effect, only the beginning. Then she went home to the Philippines. Sabalenka, for her part, lost her own round of 16 match one day earlier, beaten by Naomi Osaka 6-2, 7-6 on the same center court. The world number one said afterward she wanted to get drunk and forget it. Both players out in the same round, 1 day apart. One went silent and reflective. The other went to war on the system. $396,100. 10 years of frozen revenue share percentages. A number 29 seed who left as the number 28 ranked player in the world. A world number one who walked out of a press room rather than pretend the math added up. When the top of the sport says the system is broken, and the middle of the sport quietly cashes a check that changes her life while proving the same point, the argument stops being about the rich getting richer. It becomes about who professional tennis is actually built for. So here is the question worth arguing in the comments. If Sabalenka and the coalition actually pull the trigger on a US Open boycott in 6 weeks, do you stand with the players or with the slams? And more importantly, does a boycott help the next Alex Eala, or does it cost her the one paycheck she cannot afford to lose? Stake your claim below. Predict what happens in New York. Then subscribe because this story does not end at Wimbledon. It ends at Flushing Meadows in 6 weeks. And we are covering every letter, every press room walkout, and every check that gets cut between now and then. The people calling this early are the ones who will be right. The contrast between Eala and Sabalenka in the days after Wimbledon tells us everything about the current state of the sport. One player used her platform to demand systemic change for those coming up behind her. The other used hers to represent her country with grace, earn a life-changing check, and stand in a presidential palace as a symbol of national pride. Both approaches matter. Both carry weight. But in a sport that has long talked about growing globally while keeping revenue shares frozen, Eala'S story proves that emerging talent from new regions can break through, even when the system is stacked against the middle. Her $396,100 Wimbledon payday is not just money. It is validation. It is proof that years of investment in her future, as she herself described it, are paying off. It is a signal to every young player in the Philippines and beyond that the path exists. And it is a reminder to the Grand Slams that the next generation of stars is arriving, whether the revenue model evolves to meet them or not. The summer hardcourt swing will bring new tests for Eala. It will also bring new pressure on the entire prize money debate as Sabalenka defends her US Open title. The collision of these two storylines, one player fighting for more money for the many, another earning it and representing her nation, makes the coming weeks some of the most important in recent tennis history. Eala has shown she can compete with the best. Sabalenka has shown she is willing to challenge the system itself. The tennis world is watching both closely. The next chapter will be written on hard courts in North America, and the stakes have never been higher, both on the court and off it. Chronological detail from the original. If you enjoyed this story and want more in-depth updates like this, subscribe to Tennis Diaries. Turn on the notification bell, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.